Hi everybody, welcome to theRIBALD, not your parents' health class. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chanel. For those of you that do know me, what's up? Thank you for joining me here. I'm excited to learn with all of you, yay! I've been doing lots and lots of Googling and reading and just, general life information that I've gone through to prep for this project. So I'm very excited to share it with you. It's going to be changing all the time. We have lots of topics to cover, and I think, sometimes we'll have to go over certain topics because new information will come out, and then we'll have to go back and do it again, obviously, because that's how we learn. It never stops. So the reason why I started this, or wanted to start this, is because I feel we were not well equipped for life in certain circumstances, given that we weren't taught very much or certain things weren't talked about with us. So I'm not under the idea that if you don't talk about it, people aren't going to ask questions or people aren't going to be curious, especially as kids. We're curious. Humans are just curious by nature. Come on. All animals are. And even though even kids or people don't necessarily understand right off the bat, they still have that information. They still have it just in case it comes up. Something will click and be like, oh yeah, I remember this happening, right? Or this being said. So that's kind of the idea. I think the younger the better. I just think that people should be way more equipped for certain situations. Personally, I know that would have helped me quite a bit. I'm definitely a curious person. I want to know why. I want to know what the whole point is. So when people say, oh, just because I said so, I'm not happy with it. Like, but why though? Like, why am I not supposed to do that? What's the point of that? People are ill-equipped. And I think nowadays, even more than ever, things are changing drastically with social media. So many other issues are coming up with this that I think it's important to talk about. So this class is not just going to be for kids going through school, grade school, middle school, high school. It's for everybody. I know, like, my parents' generation and the generations before that, it was not talked about. Sexuality, just like anything, wasn't talked about, right? Like, emotions weren't even talked about. So, and even in one of my criminal law classes, we were going over this topic the other day. If you were kind of sexually interested in anything or were a little bit rebellious in the early 1900s, it wasn't good. You would get sent to reform school. For a female to be a little bit promiscuous or a little bit interested in anything, seemed like, that wasn't proper ladylike tendencies, you get sent to reform school for 5 years minimum. In 1947, I believe they changed that to 2 years, but still, that is what most health classes are operating on the premise of. It has not really updated. I know lots of, people have been trying to operate health classes outside of the school because the school's not allowing that, but that brings up issues with parents, caregivers, anybody under that, because some of those topics are bold, right? Like, we're going to try and keep this as PG as possible here, but we need to talk about some things. There needs to be a healthy conversation about it because it shouldn't be so stigmatized. It is a health class in general is a huge part of our life, and we do need to talk about it. So a couple of topics that we're going to go over are, consent, peer pressure, boundaries, sexuality, all the different sexual orientations, basic anatomy, because I'm not sure. A couple of you still know what's going on down there. Mental health, relationships, with your parents, with your siblings, with coworkers, romantic relationships, how to kind of navigate that. For how to lose your virginity or, losing your virginity. That's kind of important. Sex in general, fantasies and how to decipher those, puberty, periods, hormones, all that fun stuff. Emotions, nutrition and general wellness, where to get access to all this information if you're pamphlet reader, or you like sitting in those formal classes or those formal kind of situations. Sexual health clinics, learning about sexual assaults, how to navigate that afterwards. Like, it's tough. And as a younger person, there's a lot of victim blaming or scrutinization from certain things like that. So where to get the proper assistance with that, STDs, how to get tested for that, what type of STDs you could get, how you can get them, that fun stuff, drugs and alcohol, what will happen, or how to be safe about it, because I would like to think that, people don't try that stuff. I have tried that stuff, and I would have loved if somebody was there to like warn me or kind of help me navigate through those kind of situations, and what to expect, and how to deal with it afterwards, like things like that. I think we should have fun with it. This honest conversation needs to be had, because there's too much of a stigma around all of these topics, and because of that, people are not informed. And if you are informed, that's awesome. Good for you. And you should definitely give whoever taught you that, if it was yourself or caregivers or teachers or anything like that, definitely give them a pat on the back, because many of us were ill-equipped. And if you're from a smaller town too, or smaller area, you're more rural, you're definitely not going to know as much. And it's not good. Like, we need to know, and we need to be prepared for life. So this is why we are here. Also, health classes can be so awkward. So if you learn better with short videos like the ones I'll be doing, they'll probably be 10-15 minutes depending on what the topic is. But I'll try and keep your attention span, satisfied within that kind of a range, because I know that's how my brain operates. So I will be doing a blog. I'm having a bit of technical issues with that, so still working on that. But if that is a medium that you prefer to use, go ahead. I will be posting the link to the blog underneath the YouTube videos. I will be posting all the links to any of the information I've been stating, or where you can get access to that information as well. I'll be posting that underneath YouTube and on the blog. So whichever works best for you. You can do this in the confines of your own home, so that'll be awesome. We're planning to do this every Tuesday, about 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's kind of a good time for everybody. You've had dinner, you've done all those things, and then you get to, what am I going to watch? What am I going to satisfy my time with until I go to bed? This class, obviously. We're going to learn together, and hopefully it'll be a less formal environment than, all the other situations we've been in. I know even talking to doctors sometimes is very intimidating. Like, I'm a person that loves to learn. I want to talk about that kind of stuff. So even for me to go into a doctor's office or those kind of clinics, and it can be really awkward, and it can be so formal and medical that, I don't know, a lot of things don't get covered because of it, right? Like, you're nervous, like even going into the doctor in general, like, I have all these things to talk about, and then you don't talk about any of them because it goes off on its merry way. Anyways, so a lot of what I will be posting will be, North American content. I'm Canadian, so all that kind of stuff will mostly be Canadian, but I'm trying to not research, because that's not the proper scientific term. I'll be Googling and reading a lot based on other countries, and hopefully getting more information for that, so people are more equipped, because not everybody's going to come to Canada and have the same features, or, have the same features that we do in Canada. So definitely going to work on that. Bear with me through all of this. I would love to hear all the feedback. I know all the topics that I'll be talking about, just what I briefly mentioned. It's going to grow. We're going to progress, and we'll probably, go over topics again just because new information comes out. So we're going to have so much fun. Yay! Learning and stuff. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be weird. It's going to get cringy. But we're in this together, Why not? Anyways, I'm really excited to learn with all of you. Let me know anything that you want to learn about. Keep it appropriate. I'm not going to respond to anything that's highly inappropriate, or it just, it's just not good. So keep that in mind. We're here to learn. This is a safe space. Let's do it. Ooh, ooh, ooh.